Hello, traders. It's 8:02 a.m. Chicago time on Thursday, the 17th of December, 2020, in what is the last full week of trading of 2020. I don't know about you, but it's a burner year. It's episode number 1901. I want to remind everyone that tomorrow is Quad Witching Friday. Today, we may see a positioning. Still, as we go into expiration tomorrow, some products expire at 8:30 Central, right at the Wall Street Open. Some will expire at the end of the day, and that'll have an impact on what we do. I want to remind you also that trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Hopefully, you're nice and comfortable and you're ready to go today. This isn't the best week to take on additional risk, but the market's definitely in a risk on mode again. And front and center is the stimulus conversation happening at the U.S. Capitol Hill, between the debate between the Democrats and Republicans about what this $900+ billion package is going to look like. I think the latest is $600 in checks, in support checks to individuals. I believe the Democrats want more money distributed directly to the public or something like that. We'll see how that goes. The other thing is, of course, the vaccines is getting distributed. Those countries who planned well are doing well, like New Zealand has secured enough vaccines and will offer it free to all citizens of New Zealand, plus 6 neighboring countries. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, so we have a risk-on market currently. The German DAX again pushing higher, leading the pack, followed by the Euro stocks. It looks a lot like yesterday. Interestingly, money is also flowing into gold, silver, and copper. These gold, silver generally seen as reservoirs of wealth, and copper is seen as an industrial metal and is usually bullish with the market, with equities. The dollar's falling again. The dollar's below $90.71. And overall, the overnight volume is relatively low, especially for expiration week, 129,000. Remember, about 90 to 91,000 at this point of the session is where we expect it to be. It's a little bit light right now, and it should be a little bit higher given the expiration. Rollover is pretty much done according to the roll analyzer on the CME website. We have 25.5 points of range and 97%. The inventory is long 97% with a multi-distribution profile. That's what we get from the Convergent Trading summary sheet. Be sure to follow Convergent Trading on Twitter, twitter.com/conv trading. You'll see it up here. Right here's the URL. If you're on Twitter, be sure to follow that. Let's dive nose in to our review segment. Yesterday was FOMC day. Probably one of the most choppy non-events I've seen in a while for FOMC. There have been some lazy ones, but this one definitely didn't even show up on the chart. I expected a dip yesterday as a primary scenario. I'm looking for a dip, and I said I don't know the extent of the dip, but it can go. I said that I'm interested in getting long the impulse up, even if it goes as low as 36.77. I was looking for it to consolidate somewhere near the low and then to turn higher. What's going on here? One second. Computer is seriously lagging. Expected it to push higher, and I was looking for it to push into 37.05 right up here and hopefully was hoping for a measured move test at 37.08. Didn't quite get there. Here's what actually happened yesterday. This is a 4-tick Renko here. You can see the chart is quite compressed. There was not all that much going on yesterday. We dipped into 81. Again, we had room into the 76, 77 down here, the single print from the prior session. Expected that to kind of hold a little bit, and then was looking for to push higher into 37.05, 37.08. Hang on, I'm going to turn off a bunch of stuff here. If you give me a second. Let's see, turn this off. Turn this off. It looks like I'm just kicking this. Let me just put you here for a second on the announcement and then shut a bunch of stuff down. There's a huge lag on my side. Yeah, let me shut down a bunch of stuff and then that way the performance is a little bit better. Okay, just give me a second, please. I'm going to shut down Bookmap as well, and this should speed us up a fair amount. Sorry about that. Here we are. So back to the review segment. While we're here, we're doing a fireside chat with Convergence head traders. These guys can be found online. You can see their tags, long, short, or flat, Tendex Capital, and the Nemo Trader. These guys will be on in the evening of December 23rd, the eve of Christmas Eve, at 6 p.m. Eastern. The URL to sign up is go2ct.pro/CT Fireside 2020. This is really intended to be a cozy chat with some professional traders talking about the journey, the struggles, the stuff people like to listen to, just the story and making the turn and things like that. I highly encourage you to attend. If you're not able to attend, sign up anyway. That way you're registered and you will be sent the recording. It will be recorded. Back to our review segment. So we took a dip immediately. Inventory was long yesterday, 100% or something, and the expectation is for it to correct on the open. As I said, I'm looking for the long on the way down, all the way down to 77, 76. It stopped at 81, back up into the opening swing and above the mid and VWAP, and from here it's longs only until it pokes through. Then it's neutral, starting to look at the break to the short side for the IB. Garbage, really a garbage effort down here. You can see that the profile of the day is this double-pronged, fish-lipped kind of a profile, completely balanced, very Gaussian, and then we finally get the impulse that was expected way back here. Finally get the impulse up, and then just look for the long to 37.05 and 37.08, and that worked out. Scenario 1 was pretty good. That's how it played out. Since then, in the overnight session, what we've done is we've pulled back right after the close, right down in here, and then right into the middle of the range, right on top of the point of control. Yesterday, we made new all-time highs. We tend to sell off a little bit every time we make new all-time highs. A couple things to note yesterday. The volume was a little bit light for rollover and a new all-time high day. It tested above 3,700, but it finished below. The close was 36.94 and a quarter yesterday. Every time it pokes above 3,700, it has come right off. And as you can see here, and so on. it pokes up there and falls right off. And but still, as I said in the Head Trader channel yesterday at Convergent back at 3:06 p.m. Central, 4:06 Eastern, I wrote, unable to hang on to 3,700 again. Bullish action at close still. Chop into the close, neutral bullish bias still, but time of day is key here. This is 15 minutes before the open, before the close. There's no reason for me to think short is the way to go yesterday. Since then, from the Asian session all the way up to the European session and plus, it's been a solid trend up. The action has stayed ahead of the full session VWAP. We're testing the full session VWAP right now against that 3708 measured move and have put in a higher high and are starting to push into a pretty decent area. The higher high is at 3717 and a half. And we're starting to push into this cluster of measured moves. Check it out right here. You can see that there's just a bang, 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 bang. There are measured moves that are starting to accumulate up here, and I expect this rally to stall into here into the end of the year. Now, we've been buying up the end of the year when everybody's not looking. It's been running higher over the last couple of years. I think the last time I looked, and it's got a little bit of room to go. Not all that much, though, about 20 points according to this. Delta is positive overnight. I can lean on the Delta a little bit, and you can see yesterday's Delta played along with price pretty well. And so that's where that's where we stand. I'm not going to get into the order flow because I switched it off. I'm going to take a moment again and remind you about next Wednesday's event, December 23rd at 6 p.m. Eastern. I know this is late London time. It's about 11 p.m. GMT and midnight in Europe. Hopefully some of our European traders and friends can attend. If not, please register anyway, and you will be sent the recording when it's making its way out. It lets us know to send it to you. You can find us at go.ct.pro/CT Fireside 2020. Let's take a look at what's expected for today. If you have not checked out EdgeClear, please do so. Some exciting stuff is planned for release middle of January. The goal here is to revolutionize how online traders are treated and their entire brokerage experience. This is a company that was founded by me, and I would appreciate your support, of course. Here's what we're looking for today. The primary scenario, given the inventory being as high as it is and opening in a gap, the primary scenario is a choppy open against the overnight point of control, a pullback down into the high of yesterday, the 3704.50, a pullback towards that area, potential poke. I'm looking for it to consolidate in here and start to squeeze. It's already made a push to the one volatility sigma, the 3720. I'm expecting the rally to stall up here and for it to come back and hold sideways to down. The secondary scenario is actually bearish, believe it or not. We are running into a lot overhead. Open auction that tests higher, impulses down, comes back into the prior day's range, and then because we had a Gaussian or a normal distribution profile, I'm looking for a test of the prior point of control at 3694. So I expect yesterday's close to be tested. I expect yesterday's point of control to be tested, and for it to dip down into the lower 90s and upper 80s on the secondary scenario here. I'm looking for this to be a rest day. We did have a nice run on Tuesday. Well, Wednesday put in new highs, and I'm expecting this to slow down a little bit. It's a low probability to have 3 days in a row of 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 3 days in of pushing new highs, but we'll see how it plays out. Scenario one continues the one-time framing up. One-time framing up, so I'm still bullish. I'm not changing that. I'm expecting yesterday's low to hold. If yesterday's low doesn't hold, we have scenario three, which is actually the greatest opportunity. Scenario three pushes the high, impulses down on an open test drive or an open rejection reverse, consolidate at the prior day's point of control, guns for the low, looking for 3682.83, and once it breaks through here, it has a lot of room. Look at this open zone down here all the way into 3670. This would be the trade to catch. I'm not really promoting the short side, and I'm not saying the short side has the higher probability, but if it does work out, it'll likely have the higher range. There's a lot stacked up here. The unfortunate thing is we have expiration, and it's not likely to materialize, but this is what I'm looking at. Okay. Anyway, sorry about the technical issues. I'm on a laptop, very high-powered laptop, but I think the video card gets choked up on it, and it tends to get laggy a little bit. It's supposed to be a gaming laptop, but you know how that is. Anyway, good luck today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Hopefully, you're gaining something every day, and you're making incremental gains in your trading every day in your skill set. Don't forget to register for this webinar. I look forward to the conversation. There will be a panel, and we'll be taking questions, of course, about the journey. It's not really a technical webinar. It's about the story of these people and your story. Good luck, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Take care.